better place to rest my weary bones than on this beautiful island where there's so much to see. Every corner I turn, there's something there to remind me of my beautiful nation and what it means to me. Not a thing out of place, that's what's special about it. And do you hear? It's the songs the birds are singing. Do you hear? It's a sound that's everlasting, and there's no end in sight, just the beginning of our life.
A pleasant good night to one and all again. Welcome to another Mikey Live program. This is what we call News Discussed, Not Told. It's again my pleasure to be with you on the program. Of course, telling you things that happens here in Grenada, things that have happened in Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Barbados, the wider Caribbean, and the world. Folks, this is where it all happens. Now, we give you the good, the bad, and the Mikey. We want to welcome all the folks on YouTube currently tuned in. We are happy to have you. Better quality for the folks out there on YouTube. For those of you who are on Facebook, more interaction and engagement. We want to say hello and welcome to you. We want to as well remind you to share the program. Sharing the program means that other people will get to see that we are live and that, of course, you become an ambassador for the program. So if you have not yet done so, and to ensure that the program remains free for those of you who are on Facebook, we encourage you to hit the share button. We see that we are now joined by the folks at WPG10, channels 10 and 11, that's cable TV. We want to welcome you as well to tonight's program, tonight's Mikey Live. Folks, so many things in the news, all right? So let's just get right to it. House completely destroyed by fire at Bolio St. George. Rat in the market. The marijuana discussion. Nawasa hands over tanks to schools in St. Andrew. There's a job vacancy that we want you to know about. Grenelec upgrades power plant in Carriacou that you'll be interested in. Also, Eastern Zone meet of the secondary school games said to be a success. St. Vincent Hospital loses finger. A play on words, you'll know why. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Veteran corrections officer slapped with drug charges in St. Lucia, and a notice from Nawasa. We have other things to tell you about on tonight's program. We'd like to welcome you again officially to another Mikey Live program, News Discussed, Not Told. We'd like to let you know that the news headlines is brought to you through the kind compliments of Duty Free Caribbean and Colombian Emeralds International and WPG10. When we come back, it will be real news in all you. I ain't hearing all you, man. I want to hear the people at home. I want to hear my neighbor all around the area. Let's go again. When we return, it will be real news in all you. In all your lily lolo. We are coming back. Don't touch your TV, your computer, your smartphone.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We can't wait for carnival, drinking rum and getting on, roaming all over the town. That is how we are with fun. Ooh, ooh yeah, ooh yeah. Well, foreigners from all over coming down to Grenada. Yes, they like it.
And so it begins, a journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. Water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. And when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Trying to get fit for 2019? Then start your journey to fitness with Quartz. Buy any Marcy or Land Ranger gym equipment for $4.99 and over from now until March 31st and enter for your chance to win your purchase free. Shop now and pay nothing until Easter 2019. Your journey to fitness begins with Quartz. Visit us today for your gym equipment and enter to win. Quartz, bringing value home.
Yes, Simon, we're bringing value home. Is there anybody who's on the program for the first time? Put up all your hand if you're on the program for the first time. And if you are, this is us officially welcoming you to tonight's program and to Mikey Live in general. Now, the National Water and Sewerage Authority, NAWASA, advises consumers in Mamacans, Grand Bacolet, Crowshoe, through to Montfan and surrounding communities in the parish of St. Andrew that due to network maintenance, your water supply will be interrupted between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Thursday, March 21st, 2019. Consumers are therefore encouraged to collect and store water in clean covered containers prior to the interruption in your supply. Please be advised that although the system will be reopened at 5 p.m., consumers, especially those in elevated areas, may receive your supply within 2 hours after the scheduled restoration period. Now, the authority apologizes, they say, for any inconveniences caused and would like to thank you, the general public, for your patience as they work towards the delivery of a safe, adequate, and reliable water supply. And while we are on that, NAWASA made a very interesting and noteworthy gesture that we have to talk about. They officially handed over 1,000-gallon water storage tanks installed at both the St. Andrew Anglican Primary School and St. Andrew's School for Special Education today. There are 2 of the 17 to have been benefited under the NAWASA School and Community Water Storage Project. Now, the project, done in collaboration with the Ministry of Education with support from NADMA, are funding they were funded by SIDEMA. You know, now it ensures that whenever water goes off for whatever reason in the main, that at least it doesn't interrupt the smooth flow of things at the school. So if water go for 2 minutes or 2 hours or so, and you know, ting, you ought to send them children and them home because of that. So that was the intention. You know what I mean? So all give them a little clap and thing now. Just make them feel good now. This is good. You know, when we take, you know what I mean, what faces and things, good smiles and things. All give them a clap now. All the thing dead. So I give it all good news all over there. Sit down like if somebody white is. Look here. All right. Anyway, smile. And like them people think, good. Right. Big up now, Wasa boy. Because right now, there's a job vacancy that we have to tell all about too. Now, applications are invited from suitably qualified persons to fill the position of pipe fitter within the Planning and Development PD Department of NAWASA. Now, they say it's good to go under the PN department to know that we're here. Now, some of your responsibilities are like reporting to the P&D manager or the management team You're responsible for carrying out pipe fitting and driving duties on various projects and so on. You understand? Now the minimum qualification is a certificate in pipe fitting from a recognized institution with at least 3 years experience, a D-class driver's license. All right, and there's a word that was tying me up. I feel that word was spelled wrong from since they make it there. Remuneration will be based on qualifications and experience. That word will tie me up badly, but it don't tie me up tonight, but I'm just saying. Application should include CV and 2 references in a sealed envelope, and it should be sent to the following address. That is the National Water and Sewage Authority, P.O. Box 392, the Carenage, St. George. Vacancy for pipe fitter, or you can send it to email nawasa@nawasa.gd, and the deadline for receipt of the application is Monday, March 25th. So you don't have much time, all right? You do have much time, so you better send the thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right. So good. The next thing that we have to tell all you about, boy. Yeah. The next thing that we have to tell all you about, boy, is Grenlec, people. We have to tell all you about Grenlec. Grenlec has upgraded the power plant in Carriacou. You understand? Yeah, man, they're doing work too. So they said that its new power plant control system was recently installed, and it was installed at Boseju facility. All right? They say it now uses modern technology. I ain't making it up. Listen what I say. It makes all the existing system generators work in parallel, you know, people. I mean, I don't want to get down to all the, you know, all the terminologies and so on, but I mean, it good. You know what I mean? According to them, it enables complete high-speed monitoring and control from Carriacou as well as Grenlec Queen's Park facility, you know. They say it produces greater efficiency in plant operations, resulting in higher reliability for customers. I ain't making it up. You know? Now, Grenlec says that incorporating modern technology into their operations is fundamental to their continuous improvement program. Now, they say their priority is to deliver the highest levels of quality, reliability, and value for all of their customers. You understand? So you can imagine how them customers, you understand, in Carriacou might be happy. Let's take this from Grenlec.
We are working on a project up in Carriacou to upgrade the controls on the generators. The controls are outdated, and it does not give us the flexibility when we want to connect a new generator.
The Carriacou power plant has 3 Cummins gensets and a Caterpillar unit. They are not compatible. The Caterpillar was added as something, a retrofit, essentially to help with generation when we had a Cummins outage. So the control systems were never meant to operate together initially. So what this project did is essentially created a means that the Caterpillar unit and the Cummins system, the original Cummins system of the Carriacou plant, can be compatible.
Now we have seamless transition from one generator system to another. The customer won't even know the difference. We chose Governor Controls because we've had a number of experience with them. We designed the system together.
This project couldn't come at a better time when we are seeing growth on our system.
The good part about this system here now, I know for sure, I ain't think nobody would be calling me out of my bed. Me and the other team members, because we had to rush to get back our engine in time for the island speed.
Yeah, I want to thank the customers. Thanks for their patience.
It's a major milestone for us, and the overall benefits would be improved reliability.
Yeah, man, thank you very much, all right? I'll give them people in Carriacou a clap and Grenlec a clap to fix up the thing. Oh, yeah, the next thing that we have to tell you about, boy, is you see our football team, the under-17 team. Let me tell you something. They're out there and they're doing really good for us. So I want all you to give them a clap. I'm telling all you what to do. Yes, give them a clap. And I'll tell you why. The national under-17 team rebounded from their opening round defeat with a 2-1 victory on Wednesday over St. Vincent and the Grenadines, who are currently second in Group A of the Confederation of North Central America and the Caribbean Association Football, that is CONCACAF, Under-17 Championship qualifiers all right, in Florida happening right now. Now, Grenada found it themselves down at the halftime 1-0. And they say they had to dig deep in the second half to ensure victory, or any chance of victory, in fact. Now, the breakthrough, according to reports, came in the 47th minute of play when Akil Lalit netted home the equalizer. Both teams, they say, they searched for go-ahead goals. They had equal chances to do so. However, it was Grenada who was successful in this. Benjamin Etienne. They say he shot from the back of the net, giving Grenada the upper hand. 2-1, advance in the 21st, in the 62nd minute of play, people. We turned out to win the thing. They say despite the many efforts, both teams, they were unable to score for the duration of the game. Which eventually ended in 2-1. They say Grenada playboy. You know, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they're good, you know. But Grenada, them small men and them playboy. You understand? So all they give them a clap too, man, like good news. So the win puts Grenada third in the group with 3 points behind the Cayman Islands and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, who are on 6 points each. All right? Victory for Grenada in their remaining 2 games can see them topping the group, providing the 2 front runners were to lose any of their games that were left. All right? So we have to say congratulations to the Spice Boys for doing so good, and there's the young men. You understand? Doing Grenada proud. I'll give them a clap. I didn't see no clap and no love on the program. What it is, man? Good. All year. So we move from football and we're going down to now to the athletics. Them youngsters and them in the stadium, boy. Not in the stadium, no way they were in progress back. You understand? Today, the Eastern Zone, you know, they had their games today. Well, actually, I heard it was very competitive. The students came out and they participated. Both students and those who were athletes and those who were supporters. They say they came out, boys. So, it was keen competition. And some of the children, they say, well, they were not practicing, but when they realized things was getting a little serious, they decided that they were going to start, doing a little practice, something like that. And so they are preparing themselves for the finals. You understand? We have a summary of today's activities.
I am very much pleased with the turnout of the athletes and even the students who are here to support the athletes this morning. We have visited the schools, we have spoken to them about the games, and we have seen the impact of us going to the schools to encourage them to come to the event today.
The ministry has a mandate to ensure that we give students that opportunity, and so this is what's happening, and I'm just happy that we are able to do that. And there's no letting up. We are going to do all we can to make sure the events are as successful as they can be.
What we are doing is holistic development, and if we are looking at holistic development, sport and health and all the other facets that we need to uplift the children are key components to their development. So activities like this, which would bring out their sportsmanship, fair play, their ability to mix, to meet new friends, to associate with others, to share others on, to compete is critical for their success in the future. So activities like this, I would really say, go a long way in helping develop the students.
I just come out here to run. That's my first competition for the year. Every opportunity that I get, I should make use of it, because I never know what's coming next. If we work together, I sure will do it.
I'm very happy that I could go to the stadium to participate in the games.
I feel happy about myself, making my father and mother proud who work hard to, get food on the table for me, or to make them proud in the future. As we training a lot in this park, my coach, a good coach, Mr. Mores, I has trained for this day. So very in the future, I would like to make it up to the Olympics and Carifla.
April 5th, I just want you all to come and support the Eastern Zone. Give us all our support, and we'll try and do our best.
Yeah, man. Congratulations to you guys, all right? All those of you who were spectators and as well Those of you who were athletes as well, you know what I mean? You could hear the passion in those children. This one of the youth man, they saying about making your parents proud and thing, you know. That's very thoughtful of you, partner. Raise your parents' nose, yeah, papa? Yeah, popo? Raise your parents' nose. Now, a house was destroyed by fire, but we'll tell you about that in a moment. The next story that we have to tell you about. Now, when we're doing stories, we have to categorize and classify. I didn't know whether or not we're going to put this next story in the breaking the internet category, or if we were just going to read it as a hardcore news item. I figured it is best to put it in a hardcore news item. So I'll pretend to be one of those well-mannered news anchor and introduce the next clip and introduce the next story for you people. I beg, please, anybody who laughs at the next story, I'll have a serious problem with you. Okay? Good. Right. So now let's get into this story. May drink some water in the program. Nah, hold on. This is Mikey Live News. Good night, everyone. In this story, one market vendor is complaining and appealing to the Ministry of Health to do something immediately about rats and roaches that seem to have infested the vendor's market in St. George's. We have the comment from the aggrieved vendor.
I find, from my point of view, I'm a market vendor in the market. And the market has too much rats and roaches. Anthony put Friday to call my goods. Make sure I help put your pods on the pot. And we pay juice in the market full of rats. I tell by what price you put in the market. What do you sure is in for the market? Every day collecting $2 for to vend here. And the market full of rats and roaches. That is why you rat and roach in the market. So where you storing your stuff? Well, I have a little storeroom, I have a little storage area in the market. But I got to buy rat pots put there. And I'm selling here too. Big bread, they rat out the market in the market. Big bread, they rat running, so pack up roach running. What do you sure is doing for the market vendors? We need rat pots in the market. Get your somebody rat in the market. I feel pretty rat on the roach, man. You're welcome.
I never hear that yet. Next story. Oh God. Me back. Me esophagus. There we go. Next story. Next story, yeah? I'll behave. Alright, next story. I'll behave, no man. Alright, so the next story that we have to tell you about is the marijuana conversation. Now, following a report here on Mikey Live last evening that had to do with the burning of approximately $2 million worth of marijuana, social media had a lot to say about it. In fact, very prominent people within our society, very prominent people within our society had to give their opinion as well. It was rather interesting to see the angles, the points of view on the subject as to where Grenada should be heading in 2019 as it relates to marijuana. Folks, we have to be clear that we are not talking about the use of marijuana for recreational purposes or for smoking purposes, but we are talking about finding a way to inject money into our economy through the sale of marijuana, not necessarily to Grenadians, but if there's any viable business that can be derived out of the marijuana. Yes? to date, probably Grenada is one of the only islands not having that sort of consultation, not having that sort of conversation relating to how, as a country, we will approach whether or not the laws are going to remain the same or there's going to be some sort of adjustment. Yes? And so you get the sentiments from the majority of persons who would have commented under the video last evening that at least people want us as a nation to have conversation relating to marijuana. That's all. The Grenadians are asking for a conversation. You don't have to take it from me. You could go back to the video. It's posted on the wall. It was posted yesterday. And you would see that the majority of persons who are posting there believe that we should be at a point where conversation is being had. Where we go from here? Let's see. Oh yeah, today was a bad day for some people in Bolio, as just oh no, folks, the people's house was destroyed by fire. You know, just in the later part of the afternoon, we got a call, you know, that this house was up in flames. And that we understand that police are looking into this. What caused the fire? We're not sure. You know, the police are investigating it. Whether or not there were persons injured and so on, I could not have gotten anything solid on that before coming on the program. All right. So all we can say to you right now is that what we have, what we know, what we can confirm is that this house was destroyed by fire. Today in the Bolio area. All right, that's all that we can tell you for sure. We know that there were fire tenders who attended to this and other officials. Why some other officials were there, I'm not sure. I wanted to find out that as well. All right, so maybe by tomorrow, God's willing, we'll have more for you on this. Okay, I also heard some of the firemen saying that they had to respond to several bushfires yesterday. Yeah, they had to do that yesterday. All right. Yeah, but you know, so far I think we're doing okay for fires compared to last year. Yeah, last year was crazy. So let's keep our fingers crossed. It's unfortunate that this incident has happened. You know, and let's wish the best for those affected as well. We are moving on. How are we looking for time? Folks, I woke up this morning to this story. Okay? I'm reading it as is from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Authorities at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital are said to be looking into an incident where a man's severed finger was misplaced by the staff at the Accident and Emergency Department. Reports are that the employee of a local supermarket severed one of his fingers during a meat cutting process and was rushed to the MCMH along with his severed finger. The finger was placed on ice with the intention to reattach it, and the man told to return the following day. Now, reports are that the man sought the advice of another physician, but when he returned to the hospital for his finger, he was told that the finger was lost. It couldn't be found. Now, I ain't making up this. I read it word for word. You know what I mean? Never hear that yet. So, folks, we are at the point where the islands are talking about bailing out Liat in its troubles. We are now moving to St. Lucia. Now, the Prime Minister there, Alan Chasney, is not jumping on the bandwagon just yet. You know, he's saying that Liat would have a lot of work to do. A lot of restructuring, right? A lot of investing, a lot of convincing before he can put his taxpayers' money into the cash-strapped airlines. Here's a report from St. Lucia on this subject.
Prime Minister Alan Chasney has reiterated his position with regard to the possibility of injecting funds in support of Liat. Prime Minister Chasney, speaking at the pre-cabinet briefing on Monday, told reporters that despite the fact that all of Liat's debt was wiped off and the airline was recapitalized through the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, in excess of $70 million about a decade ago, the regional carrier is back in financial trouble.
Hopefully that if Liat genuinely is going to be moving in a new direction and there's going to be a proper board that understand the airline business, and that we're going to be hiring executives and giving those executives the freedom to make the necessary decisions. So St. Lucia has no difficulty that if they put a plan together in which Liat is making money and St. Lucia is not included, then I'm happy to pay an MRG if I want those flights. But I also want to be free to know that if there's an airline that's prepared to offer those routes cheaper, that we can choose that. But this idea that we're going to pay high prices, be held hostage by Liat every single step of the way, certainly St. Lucia is not willing to participate in that arrangement anymore.
He said he believes Liat has been given free rein in the region for a substantial amount of time and cannot blame losses solely on competition. In fact, the Prime Minister said that the time has come for competition to enter the market and that airlines need to start thinking outside of conventional patterns to create new opportunities.
This idea that you believe you can fly on a jet-propelled prop plane 15 miles and make, it's just not going to happen, and particularly if you're talking about a 72-seater. So it means you can only do one flight, whereas there are people who want to fly different times of the day, so having an 11-seater plane doing multiple crossings, and I can say to you at substantially less cost than what it's currently flying, meets our needs, and therefore you now have a hub here.
The Prime Minister shared plans of expansion which he believes will be beneficial to both airlines and passengers.
Inter-Caribbean have also now added 2 50-seater jets to their inventory. And the goal would be to have flights between Jamaica and here to us in the Eastern Caribbean. They also can go to Panama. So again, with a 50-seater plane, instead of only getting 2 flights a week for 150 seats, it would be better to get a daily service with a 50-seater plane.
The major shareholders of the Antigua-based airline are the governments of Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Dominica, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Russell Lord for the HTS News Force.
All right, thank you very much. And while we are in St. Lucia, we want to tell you about a veteran corrections officer who has found himself on the other side of the law. People, it's not pretty. Listen to the sort of things that's coming out of this report from St. Lucia about this corrections officer.
St. Rose of Mont Cayenne Vieux Fort was charged on Thursday with possession of a controlled drug and introducing a controlled substance into the prison. The veteran corrections officer was granted bail in the sum of $7,000 cash or suitable surety. He was arrested on Monday, March 11th, and according to reports, was held with marijuana, telephone SIM cards, razors, and lighters. The officer in charge at the Bodley Correctional Facility, Terence Leonard, confirmed the incident to News Force, but said he could not divulge too much information on an ongoing police matter. The deputy director said, however, that criminal activity would not be tolerated at the institution.
Yes, the individual of interest is an officer, but that's as much I can say at this point in time. I don't want to say too much on this particular matter, but in any organization, I don't know of any organization that allows for any illicit activities to take place in these organizations, and ours is no different.
Meanwhile, a man was caught with an illegal firearm outside the correctional facility this week. According to reports, he was searched, detained, and handed over to the officers of the Dennery Police Station. BCF officials spent significant time and resources to keep contraband from entering the facility and to rid the penal institution of what makes its way inside. HTS News Force was at the facility following a whole-day search in June 2018, which netted a number of illegal items. At the time, the deputy director confirmed that officials conduct 2 to 3 search operations a year in a move to rid the BCF of contraband. He said it was important to ensure that inmates and prison staff coexist in a safe environment. Chelsea Joseph, HTS News Force.
Thank you very much, Chelsea. And folks, what we are going to do right now is take a quick break. We want to invite you to share the program and remind you as well of the SSC Maths Band launch. Is going to be happening this Saturday at the Trade Center. All right, we want to invite you to that event. We're coming back.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
Carnival, drinking rum and getting on, roaming all over the town. That is how we are, we fun. Whoa, ooh yeah, whoa, ooh yeah. Well, foreigners from all over, coming down to Grenada. Yes, they like in the job. Yes, they like it with Spice Mass. Whoa, ooh yeah, whoa. Grenada, they can't wait for us to come. They can't wait for us to come. For partying, start the thing, give me the leeway. Back and I'll start on the freeway. I'm feeling as if it's my B-day. Carry on, have the vibes and come alive. Because we get steady, yeah. There cannot be nothing.
It's a new year, so how about a new look? At Quartz Optical, we have the latest brand names and styles. Plus, get 20% off credit on 12 to 24 months. Instant credit approval while you are being tested. Get 15% off cash, so you can get that new frame to go into the new year. Only at Quartz Optical, the largest, fastest growing optical chain in the Caribbean. Special conditions apply.
Kiss the Ring Promotions presents.
Bruv. Hello? I can't see you. What's good? But I can't even hear you. Yo. Hello? Hello? Ah.
Okay, I see. I'm good. I'm coming in.
Ah. There you are.
Live the experience right now. Enjoy high-quality video calling today. Stream, upload, and share with Digicel super fast LTE network. Visit our stores today and live the experience today. Digicel.
Alrighty, folks, and it is now time for the National Report. And I see that we have some really loyal fans tuned in right now. We want to say hello to you.
Investor interest evident in Grenada's secure investment climate. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for today, Wednesday, March 20th, I am Rikisha St. Louis. Grenada's economic stability and prudent fiscal management are boosting investor confidence. For the second consecutive year, the island has attracted low yields on its short-term debt instruments as its latest auction yielded an interest rate of 1.9% with its reissue of a treasury bill on the regional government securities market. This is where governments of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, ECCU, trade treasury bills and bonds to raise funding for economic activities. This year, Grenada rolled over 15 million T-bills from 2018 and attracted $26.4 million after competitive bidding by investors. This, according to head of the Debt Management Unit, Kerry Pear, speaks volumes for the level of confidence investors now have in Grenada's economy. He says as a result of their confidence and the competitive bidding, the interest rates are being pushed down.
Our studies have shown that, yes, there are a larger number of potential investors out there that are not currently accessing the market at the level that we would like them to access the market, but you're definitely seeing a shift, an increase in the existing levels of investments that we're seeing from investors on the ground and in the region. So that's why we can speak to the investor confidence. The process that is used to obtain the treasury bill, competitive bidding on the auction, the interest rates could only go down and be driven down if the investors are competing actively in trying to get a hold of the government bills. So these things do say to us that we have investors out there who are very much interested in getting a hold of the Grenadian bills and bonds when they're being auctioned on the market.
Pear attributes Grenada's constant pull of investors to good practices like careful spending, being transparent, and prudent fiscal management.
Grenada has implemented a number of laws, new laws, and best practice models as it relates to fiscal management, as it relates to transparency, as it relates to good governance. And we are seeing the impact of these laws. We're seeing the impact of these guidelines, and so that we've placed, put into effect. And the impact of those, it's obvious in the numbers. We, for the first time in years, we've seen 3-4 years of constant growth, high level growth, over 4.5% growth in GDP. Grenada is recording surpluses, in terms of its balances, and that is great. It's showing that simple economics, we are not overspending. We're not spending more than we're making.
The Ministry of Climate Resilience and the Environment is seeking solutions to the influx of sargassum seaweed on our shores. In a bid to curb the issue, an action plan has been presented to Cabinet on the way forward. Speaking at the government's weekly post-Cabinet briefing, Minister for Climate Resilience and the Environment, Senator the Honorable Simon Steele, says the sargassum is a growing cause for concern. Hence, his ministry is trying to find ways of remedying this chronic issue. According to Senator Steele, teams of environmental wardens are tasked with the responsibility of manually reading the beaches of the seaweeds. This solution, he says, is more environmentally friendly.
What we've found is the sargassum inundation has actually started early. So this is certainly a chronic issue that we see as getting worse as the years progress. But within that action plan, there were a number of solutions that are being proposed that will be rolled out in due course. It starts with the mobilization of our environmental wardens. There are wardens, teams of wardens that are associated with each constituency, 4 teams per constituency, 6 wardens per team. So they would be responsible for doing the manual clear up. So this is light, environmentally sensitive clearing, and environmental wardens have already been been deployed to some of our beaches, certainly up in St. Patrick's. So that is going to continue throughout the course of the year.
In addition, the Environment Minister says government is in the process of sourcing suitable machinery to aid in the offshore cleaning, one of which has been received through the German Development Agency. Senator Steele says while solutions are being sought, prevention is also significant.
The equipment was actually deployed for clearing of the reeds in Granatang. That was the original project design. But we've asked the technical experts at GIZ whether this equipment could also be used in saltwater conditions offshore, and they have confirmed that. So we are working with GIZ, with NAWASA, in terms of how we can actually deploy this offshore to reduce the amount of sargassum that comes on shore. And those discussions are taking place as we speak. So what we will see is with the introduction of that machinery, a much more efficient collection. But we know that isn't going to be enough. Also, it's one piece of equipment. We have many beaches. We also have Carriacou and Petit Martinique. So the ministry is also working together with the OECS Secretariat, with other islands within the region, as to other pieces of equipment that are suitable for deployment. The third area is prevention. So it's looking at solutions such as booms, which could be deployed offshore, which will provide a physical barrier to the sargassum, so it could be kept offshore. And again, some of the equipment, marine equipment, could be deployed to reduce what is at the back of that barrier.
This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break.
The safety on our roads make this a major priority. Health of our people, a crucial necessity. Accidents happen when road users are either irresponsible or inconsiderate in one way or the other. Play your part. Reduce your speed. Be attentive. It is your personal responsibility. Let 2017 be the start of no more road fatality. Be safe, be seen, be smart. So let's wise up as a nation. Get to your destination safe.
Welcome back. Another successful staging of the National Secondary School Games, this time at Progress Park in St. Andrew, where the Eastern Zonal Meet was held. More than 140 athletes from 5 secondary schools were grouped in the zone, which included St. David's Catholic Secondary School, St. Joseph's Convent, St. Andrew, St. Andrew's Anglican Secondary School, Grenville Secondary School, and the Grenada Christian Academy. It was clean and competitive rivalry as the athletes ran to secure a placement on the team that will form the Eastern Zone to compete in the final against Southern Zone, Western Zone, and Carriacou, April 5th at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. GIS spoke with Education Officer for District 3, Ms. Katian James. She's happy with the turnout by athletes and support of the fellow students. She says they have seen the impact of their efforts to ensure participation, given that sports is integral to the all-round development of the students.
If we are looking at holistic development, sport and health and all the other facets that we need to uplift the children are key components to their development. So activities like this, which would bring out their sportsmanship, fair play, their ability to mix, to meet new friends, to associate with others, to share others on, to compete is critical for their success in the future. So activities like this, I would really say, go a long way in helping develop the students.
GIS also spoke with some of the athletes, one of whom was Jamie Buddy of SAS, the winner of the 100 meter under 20 boys. He is looking forward to the games.
Every opportunity that I get, I should make use of it, because I'll never know what's coming next. Yeah.
And which are the other events that you're going to participate in?
The 200 and the relays, 4x1 and 4x4.
And the winner of the 1500 meter under 17 boys, Rickinson Henry, is looking forward to the April 5th meet.
I'll go train harder and come back for goal again. Yes, and I'll prepare myself for April 5th, start training and get better improve on me stamina and speed, and go down and win my race.
Finally, in the news, the Roy Cape Foundation from Trinidad and Tobago has donated approximately 50 musical instruments to the Ministry of Culture to help enhance the ministry's programs in schools. The foundation, which focuses on reducing crime through music, made the donation to the ministry on Tuesday. Minister with responsibility for youth development, Honorable Kate Lewis, says that the timely venture will complement their work.
What they are contributing today will go a long way in enhancing the work that we do at the Ministry of Culture. Also enhancing what we do with our students in the music labs that we would have just implemented. We have one in St. George where over 52 students are participating, playing different musical instruments. This would be good for them, giving them the opportunity to express themselves through music, allowing them to see music as a career path.
Making reference to the recent successes of local artists here in Grenada, the minister is very appreciative for the donation that has been made.
We know that our soca, our calypso industry has been improving over the years, and our recent successes in the international soca monarch is testimony of this. So we are grateful for the Roy Cape Foundation and the contributions that they are making to us here today. And as a division of culture, we will continue to enhance and protect and preserve our Grenadian culture.
Founder Roy Cape says ensuring that young men are occupied is one of their priorities. Music, he says, can be a mechanism to reduce poverty and violence in communities.
Our youths are astray because we cannot find enough to give them to do. We might have, ways to speak about them, but if somebody cannot get anything to do to make a living, they're going to find, and it's the easiest way, ends up in crime then. I believe that music can play a part in that.
That story just ended the national report for today, Wednesday, March 20th. Recapping the top story: investor interest evident in Grenada's secure investment climate. On behalf of all those who made this newscast possible, I am Rikisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Alrighty, Rikisha, thank you very much. And of course, we need to take a look at the weather and see what it's like. You know what? Last week we had a few days of rain. It was very consistent, and we were probably thinking that things would have changed and stayed that way. In other words, the forecast would have changed, and we were going to get some good rain for the remainder of the dry season. But that is not to be. We have had a couple of days now, and nothing too much to talk about. Yeah. Tonight we are seeing that precipitation is predicted to be 0%. Humidity 74% and wind 13 kilometers per hour. All right, the minimum temperature is expected to be just around 25 degrees Celsius, and now it is 26 degrees Celsius. All right, guys, we know that the farmers are hoping that they can get some rain. Well, let's just see. All right, good. All right, folks, and that's just a generic. Now, before I go, it's the 20th of March, and the 20th of March, there's one thing that happens every year. It is the birthday of my twin brother. So let me explain this picture on the screen to you, right? To your left is my twin brother. To the right is me. 2 years ago, I think it was about 2 years ago, it was intercall, and you know, people like to be patriotic on intercall. My brother dressed that way, and I dressed this way, not knowing what each other was wearing. So he posted his picture on social media with how he was dressed. And when I saw that, I was like, holy crap. But I'm dressed the same way. Now, considering that we don't live together, we thought it was rather interesting, because that is the sort of things that you would find happening when you are younger. There's a twin connection that is there when you're younger. But as you get older, it gets less and less and less. But this that you're looking at on your screen, I kid you not, it was purely coincidental. Having said that, I would like to extend to my twin brother, Michael Hutchinson, happy birthday. May God richly bless you and I hope that you live to see many more birthdays to come. Folks, if there's one soldier that is in my corner, it's my twin brother. I know that once I have a twin brother that I'm safe. You know what I mean? I could close my eyes, you know, in mommy's terms. I could close my eye any day and know that there's somebody who's going to take care of my family. That is my twin brother. So I just want to wish him all the best on his birthday today. We once picked up a pair of twins at the stadium, but it was short-lived, you know. They came in Grenada for the cricket competition, the Digicel, I can't remember what it was called, but yeah, they came for that and we met them. They looked identical, like a perfect replica of each other. Yeah, we were hoping that, you know, we could have business, but yeah, the business didn't work out in the business. So we had to leave that talk right there before we get ourselves in trouble. You know what I mean? So yes, again, happy birthday to Michael, and may the good Lord bless you, all right? Good. So anyway, folks, let me leave that talking. Mind all the business, is enough for you. Mind all the business. Anyway, all take care of yourselves. We'll be back tomorrow, God's willing, with another. Oh, I have to say hi to so Bonje, Suzanne, Wendy Ann, Neki, Angel, Zaka, Ayana, Anya, Ezran, Hazel, Rhonda, Peterkin, Cutie, Kiwin, Sheba, Sandra, Patsy, Mom, Lintona, Meryl, Sally, Daria, Khadija, Short Stuff, Traveling, Glenda, John. Is that John in Mount Granby? Deborah, Ala, Reader, Ezran, Marcus, Nika, and everybody else, Angela as well. I would like to say, and Ebony, good day to you guys. All right, yes, I say hi to you, Meryl and Jennifer and Leon and Zilon. All right, guys, so all the best. And those of you who are Noreen, good day to you as well, and Danica and Joycelyn. Now, those of you on WPG10, you can always send me a text message at the end of the program, at the end of each program, if you want me to say hi to you, all right? Janelle and everyone else. It is 414-9995. You can always send me a message. Those of you who are viewing via WPG10, you can always feel free to send me a message. Once I know that you're on, I could big you up as well, all right? Good. So, Veronica and everyone else, Rayburn, and the whole crew, Deslin, God bless you guys, all right? Let's go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we all say, Ja! No! Good night, everyone. God bless you and your family.